What's going on, guys? It is Sunday morning. It's 6 o'clock. Got a gym to myself completely. Literally no one's here. Not even coworkers. It's just me. And I usually like to find these days where I can actually talk. I can be a little more open. Since one, there's no one in the gym, but also like I don't have to worry about family running around or like, I'm not at work or anything like that. And so this is usually one of the best times for me to record content like this, where I can just freely talk, whether that's about business, whether that's about mindset, whether that's about really anything. And so today I kind of want to jump into the topic, a few different topics actually. I'm going to talk a little bit about business. I want to talk a little bit about mindset, and I also kind of want to just talk to you guys about maybe something that may be true, but something that may just be my own thoughts. And you guys can kind of let me know in the comments which is which. So let me hit this first set real quick. I'm gonna kind of chat with you guys between my workout, though I'm not just here talking to you guys, and I can actually get a workout in too. So let me hit my first set right now. I got a 45 on each side. I'm gonna hit incline really quick and be adding weight between each set. And then I'll probably hit some legs, and I'm gonna do some cardio at the end. So let's get into it. Oh man. So first of all, I want to chat a little bit about content creation. I was listening to a video a few days ago, kind of chatting a little bit about like the rewards of content creation, and kind of talking about supply and demand and where things are going within content creation. One of the biggest things right now is that I believe that we're getting to a point where there's so much supply in social media to where people are going to start seeing their numbers drop. People are going to start getting way lower views. You're going to start seeing people get paid. Obviously, people are still getting paid from content creation, but like I think the rate at which people get paid, depending on the platform, is going to start dropping as well. For example, Instagram, obviously, they have the most creators, but probably the least amount of people getting paid through Instagram. Now, I know people have found ways, around that by like using links and stuff like that, but like Instagram itself, like no one's really getting paid through Instagram. And so what makes you think is that you look at platforms like YouTube, the reason you can get paid so much on YouTube is through the AdSense, right? So you can have, I'll watch some videos where they'll have, 6 different little mini commercials with 2, maybe even 3 different ads running through them, which, that comes out to 18 to 21 ads per video. Where on Instagram, obviously the longest video, you can create longer videos, but there's no ads in the video itself. There's ads in Instagram, but there's not ads in your videos, which is what is stopping you from being paid, right? These ads are paying Instagram, but Instagram's not paying you. You're just getting people to Instagram, right? And so the thing is that I feel like Instagram will never really be able to pay creators until they start diving into long form content creation. I think that's what we're seeing TikTok do. I think that's what we've obviously seen, YouTube do the exact same thing, where they started off, well, YouTube didn't necessarily start off short form, but they didn't really have like a time limit in the beginning, but obviously they focus more on long form videos. They reward long form more than short form, right? Where TikTok is kind of in the middle. You can get paid, but it's mostly through Shop, where I think in the future, both of these platforms, if they really want to start paying their creators, they're going to have to do the same thing that YouTube does, which is put AdSense in the videos, or put ads in your long form videos. Whew. Whew. Oh man. That was a good one. And so yeah, it's just something I've been thinking about. Like, do I spend more of my time starting the process of creating longer form videos for these different platforms, or do I just keep with the regular program? Like, if I jump back, think about this. If you jump back to 2012, 2013, back when Instagram was all photos and like posts, what if what if you would have just been ahead of the curve and you were just creating videos of the exact same thing you create right now, but 10, 12 years ago? Like, would the algorithm have rewarded you for that? Like, would people have watched your videos? Like, who knows? Maybe not, but it would have been so much easier to transition once Reels came about, right? Like, it would have been no problem, because you'd have just been like, okay, well, I just need to cut these exact same videos that I have hundreds of now, chop them up into clips and chop them up into Reels, and then you're good. Where everyone else had to take, I mean, what, Reels started in like 20, I think it was like 2018, 2019, maybe 2020. I don't even know when Reels started, but it was a while back, and it took a minute before people like actually started doing Reels, at least consistently, especially with business. Because first it was like, people were doing funny videos, it was entertaining, but like, you didn't have your talking head videos yet. You didn't have like, everyone wasn't like normalizing Reels yet. And so I think right now we're in a phase where if you look ahead, long form on all platforms is going to be gold. Like, it just is what it is. Like, that's where the money's gonna be. If you as a creator really wanna make money and you don't wanna go like start a TikTok shop or do anything like that, or go start like a membership club or whatever, like if you really want the platform to pay you, I think that long form content is gonna be what pays, and why not go and store up, 100 hours worth of long form content on your platforms. Like, it's not as if these platforms can't hold long form videos. Like, TikTok just increased their length to an hour. I think Instagram's up to at least 30 minutes by now. It may be 15 minutes, but I'm sure they're at 30 minutes right now. And so like, why not create these exact same YouTube videos and post them on Instagram? Like, that's where they're trying to get anyway. They're just trying to figure out a way to do it to where they don't just like jump from being Instagram to being YouTube, Because ultimately, I'm sure YouTube is the goal, I'm gonna start jumping into legs now. I like to go back and forth between the two, so hit bench, I'm gonna do some squats. I'm gonna go pretty light on the weight for now, and then at the end of my workout, I'll go into the other room and then like add a lot more weight. But right now I'm just kind of like going heavy on upper body, light on lower body, and then as the workout goes, I typically switch and I'll start going lighter on upper body and then heavier on lower body. Another thing I want to chat about is jobs, right? So as you guys know, I still work full time, and I have a really good friend at work that is in this weird position right now where they make good money at their job, they take care of their finances, they have good credit, life is honestly going good, right? However, we talk all the time about like, what's the next move? Like, this is cool, this job is cool, this job is awesome. However, you can get fired tomorrow. Like, there's nothing stopping them from being like, hey, you're not hitting your numbers, you're not doing this, you're late too many times, fill in the blank, you're done. And then life completely changes, right? And I want to talk about that because, in my opinion, I don't think that, here I'm gonna do this watch while I talk. I don't think that the job was meant for long term from the get-go. Like, I understand that people work jobs and they did them for 30, 40, 50 years or whatever. And you know what? Cool. But I don't think that was the purpose of the job itself. Like, as my kids get older, what I'm going to teach them is that if you do have a job, the job is only temporary, which is why, because obviously at a job, you're just, there's a role that needs to be filled. Like, they're not looking to hire someone to better their life. They're hiring someone because they need a task fulfilled, and tasks don't last forever, which is why we tend to jump from job to job to job to job to job, because once that job isn't a priority to that company, well, they're just waiting for you to mess up at that point so they can let you go and stop paying you. Well, in my opinion, I think that the job is to help you get on your feet so that way you can start a business and then give that job to the next person in line. So for example, the guy I'm talking about at work, right? He's been at the job for, I think, a few years. He's made good money, has a lot of money in savings, got his credit fixed. And now he's at the job where he's kind of like, man, I'm here, but like, what's the point? Like, what am I, like, there's no purpose. So I was talking to him, I'm like, dude, well, things that the purpose right now is to go start a business. Like, you're on your feet. Now go, jump, go start your business, go create more jobs and give your job away, right? Like, people complain about not having jobs, but the reason there's no jobs is because everyone's trying to get a job and no one's creating businesses. Where if the same guy went and started his own, recruiting firm, or his own, like, I don't know, anything, he would then have to employ people, right? And his job would be open for someone else who wanted to get on their feet and start the process over and over and over. And that creates a cycle of jobs always opening up, jobs always being available. It stops people from just like sitting on their butts, collecting a paycheck, right? I think that, in my opinion, I think that if you make over $50,000 a year, not that this should be like a mandated thing where like you automatically get fired after this point, but I think that if you're someone, I think that you should be able to work at a job for max 5 years, over $50,000 at one job. And after that one job, it's time to go into business. Like you should do it probably at 2 years, but if you get all the way to 5, at that point, your life should be stable enough to where you should be able to go start your own business and employ people just the way that you were just employed. And then the cycle continues. So you're one person at a job, you leave, start a business, you create 4 jobs. Those 4 people do the exact same thing. They can only work that job for 5 years, and then they will leave, you rehire people, but those 4 people will go start 4 more jobs. That's 16 jobs where you created, whether you like it or not, you created 20 jobs just from pulling the trigger. Or then the cycle continues over and over and over and over and over again, which then would keep so many of our bills down because everyone's making money. There's not these people who are, looking for work all the time because there's no job openings. Like, I've worked at companies where the person above me was there for like 35 years. And I'm like, I'm never gonna get promoted because like, why would I get promoted to this guy's job? He's been there for 35 years. Like, he either has to die or retire or get fired if I want to get promoted. Whereas in reality,
this guy who's living safe should go start his own business. He obviously knows what he's doing. He's obviously professional in what he's doing. That space needs to be open for someone else to come in, which not only like evolutionizes the business, because you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? If someone comes in every 5 years that's new to different trends of life, like social media, not only does that grow the business, it keeps the legs fresh, it keeps things moving, it keeps things going. Obviously the CEO would stay the same forever. Well, maybe not forever, but you know what I mean, the business owner. And then that guy who was such a professional can go and start his own business, right? Like, I don't know, like, comment below. What do you guys think about that? Like, I just feel like the only way to really start moving things is to start moving things. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit this next set. I'm gonna end up just talking to you guys the whole time and it's not working out for real though.
So a little bit earlier in my workout, I was doing bench or incline, and I dropped my phone, and so if the audio sounds a little different, it's because it's actually coming from the voice memo here on my phone and not from my mic anymore, I'm assuming. La 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 la. Yeah, so it's not working anymore. I don't know, I guess I broke it, but it is what it is. You can kind of still hear me. I actually don't even know if that last part was recorded either, so I'm gonna put this over here. You know, they kind of actually got me thinking, like, Apple needs to come out with a built-in microphone. And yeah, I understand this is a built-in microphone, but it needs to be able to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want a noise canceling microphone in my phone so I don't have to wear that crap on my chest. Like, figure it out, Apple, let's get it. I posted about it on TikTok the other day, and like, I just wish that they would like watch the consumer reviews that people put out about their products. So I'm gonna switch topics a little bit. I want to jump into more of the coaching space, because obviously that's the business that I run. That's the thing that I want to grow and, you know, build into a multi-million-dollar business. And so I do want to touch on that space, right? Like, one big thing that I have a problem with in the coaching space, especially with new coaches, and you know what, maybe even established coaches, not as much established coaches, because they understand that they're looking for help, but there's always that person, right? That like get on a coaching call with you, and they're obviously wanting help. That's why they're on the calls with you, and that's why they paid you so much money. But they get on the call, and it's almost as if they just want justification for the thoughts that they're thinking, right? It's like they're not hiring you because you know what you're doing. They're not hiring you because they even want help. It's almost like they're hiring you to be justified in the decisions that they've already been making, to prove that what they're doing actually works. And so I've had clients where it's literally been the exact opposite. Like, they'll get on a call and they're like, hey, I should try, I was thinking about doing this, what do you think? And I'm like, that's not a good idea, you should probably do this because this is the program that you paid for. And then they're like, well, I'm gonna just do this and see how it goes. And I'm like, cool. let me know how that goes. That's literally what you're here for. If that worked, you shouldn't have paid me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are my least favorite people to work with. Like, are you here to justify yourself, or are you here to actually grow your business and learn something new along the way? That's really all it comes down to. Everything else can go in its own places, but like, don't hire a coach if you're just gonna tell them that you know what you're doing. Obviously, you don't know what you're doing. Or, like I said before, you wouldn't be here. This is my biggest pet peeve right now. I had to let go of a client, like literally just because, like for that reasoning. Like, we were both wasting our time. They'd already paid, you know, in full, because you pay in full up front unless we have like some type of payment plan going. And, you know, we're months in, and one, they weren't taking the advice, and I'm giving them like, hey, we need to create content around like what you do, like we need to dial in your niche, which we did on day one, right? We figured out what the niche was gonna be. And the next step from dialing in your niche, especially as a new coach, is starting to create content, right? Figuring out, well, I guess even before we do that, we gotta figure out who the dream client is within your niche, right? Who exactly are we talking to, and how can we help them? What are their pain points? What are their solutions, right? And then we create content around those two things. And then from there, we can start running ads. We can start bringing in appointment setters. We can start bringing in closers. We can start closing, you know, calls. But if you don't know who your content's even for, then what the hell are we doing, right? And so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, hey, like, well, this is what we need to figure out. 4 weeks go by. 4 weeks go by. No content created. There's no dream client. Nothing. It's almost like I'm doing the first call over again. And so I get on the call, and I'm like, hey, so like what's going on? Like what are we struggling with? Like we had this third call like this, like what's up? What are we doing? And it kept being like the same thing of like, you know, I'm just trying to figure out like who my whatever it is, like dream client is, and like who I'm talking to, and you know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, some people shouldn't be business owners. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Some people shouldn't go in business if they don't have entrepreneurial mindsets. And I know that kind of contradicts what I was talking about before, but I think that what I was talking about before actually helps out with this issue, because I think the reason people don't go into business for themselves is because they don't know what to go into business for, and so they end up choosing something that they're not passionate about, and then they find this like struggle back and forth, like how do I do it, what do I do, where do I go, who do I talk to, etc. Where if I'm a recruiter for 10 years, obviously I need to go into recruiting business, and I'm gonna have to learn sales, or I can hire a sales guy. I just need to be a recruiter and then hire sales guys within my company, right? Very simple. If you've been, you know, just like real estate, right? If you've been a real estate agent for so long, you can then start a brokerage and then hire real estate agents, right? If you're an athlete, typically athletes go and they become coaches, right? And then coaches hire other coaches to go work with their students. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like this is a new concept. It's just new within the world of corporate America and traditional business. And so in saying that, I think this is the exact same thing. Everyone shouldn't be a business owner. However, everyone should be a business owner eventually. And so, I don't know, man. It's just, this has been some of the struggles and some of the thoughts I've been having over the last few weeks. I thought I would just share some of this stuff with you guys. But that's pretty much it. That's all I really got today, guys. I know I'm talking your heads off, but one of my Sunday rants, maybe we'll start a series called Sunday Rants, where I kind of just go off on random topics that I've been dwelling on throughout the week. And so, yeah, if you're watching this and you have been at your job for 3, 4, 5 years
and you have money saved up, you know what you're doing, you have decent credit, and you just don't know what else to do in life, maybe it's time to pull the trigger and start that business so that way you can employ other people. And then teach them exactly what you know. You see what I'm saying? So, if you don't get anything from this video, hope you get that. If you don't get anything from this video, I hope you become a great client to somebody and don't hire coaches that you're not even wanting. And if you don't take anything from this video, I hope that you start creating longer form content. So that way, when that wave comes, because it will come, you already have an arsenal waiting. You already have tons of videos that are just floating either in your Dropbox or already on your Instagram that you can just post, and you're already ahead of the curve, because it takes about 7 hours worth of content for someone to become a client. Create the content. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.